Hello everyone again. This is Grant from the Hill Country Cigar Review, and I just wanted to welcome you back. Today I think we got something pretty cool in store. We're actually going to be doing a comparison cigar. For the comparison today, we're going to be trying out the Foundation, Tabernacle, David, and Goliath. Now, here's a little story about Foundation Cigars. It's founded by Nick Melillo. Now, Nick Melillo helped establish Drew Estates Liga Privada number 9. Now, the Liga Privada number 9 is, of course, this highly sought after cigar. It's really good, so obviously Nick Melillo has some really good experiences under his belt. Foundation Cigar themselves, they are actually located in Connecticut because the primary sources of a lot of their tobacco is the Connecticut broadleaf. So a little fun fact for you there. And another little fun fact, if you are a Joe Rogan fan, the cigars that he smokes on his podcast are actually by Foundation. It's a specific blend made for Joe Rogan. So it is just a Joe Rogan experience. You can't really buy them anywhere. You can really only get it from Joe Rogan, or if you're a guest of his podcast. So if you can get yourself one, definitely try it. I hear it's like a mix between the Tabernacle and the Highclere Castle. The Highclere Castle is their more higher echelon, their higher price point cigar. So let's go ahead and take a look at these two cigars. So the David and Goliath are actually two separate cigars, and since we are going to be doing a comparison of both of them, I did bring up my handy dandy notebook here so I can just write down some notes. Even though the blend is the same, the sizes are way different, so they're going to have a different flavor profile based on the sizes. And speaking of sizes, the David is a 5x54 and the Goliath is a 5x58. Both are sized in perfectos. The wrapper is going to be a Connecticut broadleaf. The binder is going to be a Mexican San Andreas. And the filler is going to be a mix of Nicaraguan and Honduran tobacco. Though Nick and Foundation really don't give the specifications of what the filler is. Both cigars are most likely going to run you about $12 each stick. Very good price in my opinion. Since the sizes are so different, even though the size themselves may not seem that different, that will change the complexity of the cigar significantly. Because since the Goliath is a little bit bigger, that means the experience of the flavor is mostly going to come from the binder and the filler and not the wrapper, where the David, since it's a bit of a smaller profile, more of that flavor is going to come from the wrapper and maybe the binder and the filler. So more flavor from the wrapper with the smaller one, more flavor from the binder and filler from the more larger sized Goliath. So since these cigars are perfecto sizes cigars, so here's a little bit of close-up of the tip here. I do recommend cigar scissors. We are going to start off with the David, since in the Hebrew story, David is the one that killed Goliath, so I think it'd be fitting to start with him first and then end with the Goliath. So let's go ahead and start that. The David is always a little bit more tricky to light up because the cap, or sorry, the foot of the cigar is a little bit smaller, so you got to be very careful if you're using a jet flame lighter, because you may just burn around it, kind of like what I did a little bit, but it's going to even itself out in a bit. And this cigar on light up, it's a pepper bomb, but you know, that's just that Connecticut broadleaf, that's the Mexican San Andreas. I mean, that's just part of all that experience. These are a full body, full strength cigar as well. That's just really nice. Now, we got the cigar lit. It's looking great. So, what about the pairing today? I love this little lighter over here. I can just rest my cigar right on top of it. Not have to worry. So, the pairing today, since we are going through two different types of cigars, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of flavor, especially trying to get a good profile, and you just don't want to blow out your palate. So this may actually cater to a good sized audience. I'm not exactly sure. So the drink of choice today, in my opinion, is the best thing to pair with any cigar, just because it cleanses your palate, and it's also very healthy for you. And what I'm referring to is a sparkling mineral water. My favorite, since I am in Texas, I guess, is a Topo Chico. So that's what I'm having with my cigars today. All right, cheers everybody. That's really refreshing. Really just cleans everything out, and that's what you want, especially if you're really trying to review these cigars, especially if you have two kind of like back to back and they're full body, full strength cigars. You really want to be on your A game when you're on your profiling. So after light up, the pepper is gone. It's now mellowing out. The burn is more even. I was not expecting anything less from Foundation. With that, what I'm getting now, again, since this is a Connecticut broadleaf with a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, just expect that good tobacco flavor. It is a full body, full strength. I mean, it is just giving you these earthy tones. I mean, it's quite wonderful. Yeah, it's really good. It's not as strong as like the Neanderthal, but still something you don't want to, it's still something that you don't want to, you know, mess with on an empty stomach, essentially. I will say, one thing I'm really enjoying, this may be kind of weird for a cigar review, I'm not exactly sure, since I'm kind of new in this space, but the mouthfeel of the smoke is really nice. It's very smooth, almost velvety. It's really good. I'm really liking it. The smoke output also, it's fantastic, as you can see. I mean, I'm trying to purposely blow into the camera for a cool effect. I'm just going to be real. However, I'm not like taking extra puffs to do it. That's just one little puff. Like, that's just one little draw in. So it's really nice. The aroma for this, for this is is really good too. You know, again, I'm not like one of these like try to go too in depth of a cigar reviewer. You know, to me, like the notes that really pick up for me are like these, like this earthy, maybe a little bit of like that leather smell, kind of like if you go into like a nice antique shop, kind of like that leather and wood smell. That's kind of what I'm getting with this. But the flavors are extremely bold. And that's because I think it's because it's a smaller profile. That means the flavors are more compacted with the Connecticut broadleaf and the Mexican San Andreas. Those two tobacco plants themselves are very bold tobacco. Some of the strongest cigars you'll ever have in your life are either going to be a Connecticut broadleaf, a Pennsylvania broadleaf, or a Mexican San Andreas. Of course, the Liga as well, but I don't think there's any Liga in this. I mean, it's just really good, guys. So I hope you're enjoying this review so far. I will say the Goliath will probably be in another video. I don't want to bore you guys too much with doing 2 cigar reviews in one video. I think that's a little extreme, but I will be doing them pretty much back to back. So expect the lighting to drastically change as that progresses. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and smoke it down to the about the second thirds here. So I want you guys to go ahead and light up a cigar with me, sit back, relax, get a nice little drink, get a sparkling water if you want. And I know there's people out there that love cigars, they love the community behind it, but maybe they don't like alcohol. Maybe they're a recovering alcoholic. Maybe it's a religious thing. My thing is, I never want to alienate anyone in my reviews. So if you are a cigar smoker who is, maybe is against the religion to have alcohol, or you don't like the taste of alcohol, definitely try out a Topo Chico. I'm going to try in the future to get better pairings for a cigar that are alcoholic and non-alcoholic. What are some of your go-tos for a cigar non-alcoholic? To me, I don't like to drink too much, at least Monday through Friday. I try to be as healthy as I can. I try to eat right. As you can see, I'm a bigger guy, and I'm trying to slim down. So I try not to have, beer and whiskey and tequila and all that stuff. Usually I save that for the weekends, and even then it's very moderate. So if I'm having a cigar during the week, I'll grab a sparkling water. I'll maybe grab an unsweet tea, something iced, of course. It's pretty hot over here. In the mornings, I love an iced coffee, like a cold brew, with a cigar. That's hard to beat. I'm serious. That's pretty hard to beat. And the great thing about having a Topo Chico with a cigar, like I said, it cleanses your palate out. So it's like every new puff that you draw in after you drink this carbonated water here, it's like a new puff every time. The one thing that I would love for everyone to do, if you are smoking along with me, maybe when you're drawing in, like that, when you draw in, or maybe when you're drawing in the smoke, keep the smoke in for about 10 seconds. Just try it along with me. That's how you get a lot of those flavors. I've seen people, and I never want to judge anybody in their cigar preferences, but I've seen people who just puff, 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 puff. But if you really want to get that good cigar experience, draw in, hold it for 10 seconds, swish it around your mouth, really taste it, let it kind of cool down, and if you're ready for it, slowly blow out the smoke. Towards the end, you can retrohale it. That means blowing the smoke out of your nose. I'm a pretty experienced cigar smoker. I can pretty much retrohale smoke pretty quickly. If you want to get more of an experience with your cigars, and it does come with time, try retrohaling it, but little bit at a time. Because if you try to retrohale like I did on your first try, you're most likely going to burn your nostrils and just blast everything out. So just take it slow. And that's the great thing about cigars. We have to take things slow. These things take a long time to be made, and we should be taking our time to smoke these things. So enough with that chit chat. Let's go ahead and get down to the second thirds, and let's go ahead and explore the hill country together. everybody. So we are well into the second thirds. I kind of had to change locations because man, this sun is just beating down, you know. The sun is setting, but we're well into the second thirds here, and man, what a great experience this is. As you could tell with the B-roll that I was shooting when I was doing the hill country stuff, you can tell how good the ash was doing. Unfortunately, it did break on me shortly after I filmed that. I was really wanting to show you how great the ash was, but I'm glad I got it on video. But of course, you know, can't plan everything, unfortunately. The great thing about Foundation cigars is that they're pretty much available at most tobacco retailers that I've experienced. The closest city to me is San Antonio. So every cigar shop that I've been to, I think pretty much has Foundation. They may not have the David and Goliath, but they do have Foundation there. And to me, Foundation is just one of those cigar companies that just hits every single time. What I'm referring to is that every cigar in their line is a great cigar. Like, I've never had an issue with any of them, even if it's a mild cigar to medium to full, and full-bodied. Those cigars are going to have a great flavor, great aroma every single time. And the price points will vary. Foundation has their lower price points with Chapter Oak, and that's about a $6 to $7 cigar, and that cigar is phenomenal, especially just for the price. But if you are having a hard time finding these cigars in your area, they are also online. Now, I do want to advise that I am not being paid by anybody doing these reviews. I'm not being paid by any shop to promote them. As you can tell, my channel is way too small for that. So this is just coming out of my own pocket and just my experiences. But if you're really wanting to buy these cigars and they're not in your local brick and mortar shop, then I would probably say you can get them at cigarsandpipes.com. They have a great variety of Foundation there, and they also have Romacraft. They have a lot of great boutique cigar brands there. And you can also go to cigarsinternational.com. We have a Cigars International in San Antonio, a cigar bar there. It's really nice. They have a lot of Foundation, and you can buy Foundation online. I just prefer Cigars and Pipes. They just seem to have a lot more variety all the time, and they have a lot of good sales going on. You know, as I'm smoking this cigar, I'm kind of reminded, since Nick Melillo did create the Liga Privada No. 9 for Drew Estates, which should tell you something about how great of a blender this guy is. Liga Privada used to be my more pricey stick that I would get for a special occasion, but ever since I tried Foundation cigars, I never went back to Liga Privada, and it's been a few years since I've had a Liga Privada. I think the last Liga Privada I had was last year, and I think it was the year of the rabbit, if I'm not mistaken, and it was okay. But I'm not a huge Drew Estate fan. I think their quality has kind of gone down a bit. For the price point for this cigar, it's really nice. You really can't beat it, and in my opinion, this cigar beats out really like some top dollar cigars. I'm talking like the cigars that are like, you know, $17 to $20 to $25. For example, like the Plasencia Alma Forte, if I'm not mistaken, usually that's about a $20 stick. Nothing wrong with that stick. It's a very good cigar. Very good tobacco. I mean, it's Plasencia. They own the Plasencia fields where a lot of people buy their tobacco from. And even though that cigar is really good, I have no complaints about it. This cigar here, and everything in the Tabernacle series, in my opinion, it's just better. Going into the second thirds, into the final thirds of this cigar, it's really great. The flavors have really just mellowed out, but still there. I mean, the aroma is just this really nice, earthy to leathery, a little bit of wood, and that's kind of the same with the flavor that I'm getting here as well. And that's the kind of cigars I like. I like a good earthy, leathery type cigar. I'm going to go ahead and end it here for the David. Stay tuned for the part 2 for the Goliath. See how that one differs. And I'm going to go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy the cigar, because remember, that's the thing about cigars. We have to take our time to smoke it, and we have to enjoy ourselves smoking it. So sit back, relax, have a good cigar, and I'll see you in the next video.